Kato Change.
Yes.
I hope our viewers will recognize you as the man with the hat.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Kato, you're 22 years old.
Yes.
You've decided you are going to become a musician and music is going to be your life. When did you make that decision?
I actually started playing music in primary school in the Saints Orchestra, in the St. Mary's Orchestra. I was playing violin.
So you went to St. Mary's School in Nairobi?
In Nairobi, yes, for primary school.
Right.
So I started playing there, and I was playing violin. I played for like 2 years, and I realized I wasn't really good at it. So
primary school meaning what age? I was specific about age.
It was from probably the age of 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So there you are in primary school, violin.
Violin and playing very badly, screeching, making noise in the house. So I quit because I was not very good at it, and clearly it wasn't going anywhere. So later on in life, much later, probably when I was like 16, I picked up this guitar that was handmade in the house and got it fixed up by a guy called Ken Mlamba, and started going on to YouTube and online and researching on guitarists and everything. And here I am today.
Right, so you're basically saying you were self-taught.
Yes.
So you had the discipline to sit there, you had the time in the working day to sit there and practice?
Yes, I did.
Right.
I did, yeah.
So is it a silly question to ask, how did you tell that you are telling everybody that if they've got access to the web, they don't need guitar instructors are dead, piano teachers are dead, we don't need them.
To a certain extent, you do need them, but you can do it online because now there's so many instructors that are actually online. You can have lessons online on YouTube. There are very many instructional videos,
right.
and there are very many sites that have instructions on how to play guitar, on how to do anything. These days with the internet,
right.
You can do anything.
Right, so the internet is a great opener on many.
Exactly.
Why the switch from violin to guitar? Because sorry, I wasn't listening carefully. Because you had the old guitar to play with.
Yes, I feel maybe it was just a better fit for me.
Right.
I wasn't going anywhere with violin and guitar. Once I held it, it was like it was home. So,
it was home.
Yeah.
Kato, tell me again the influences here. The kind of music that you play is quote unquote different. Is that a good adjective?
I think that's
so
good.
Did you find out from the influences about whom you wanted to play like also on the web? Who made the, why don't you play?
I think it's because my dad was a very avid jazz listener.
Right.
So I picked that off him, listening to jazz and different styles of music, of oldies,
right.
golden oldies. But yes, most of my influences actually started from internet again.
Right.
There's a guitarist I discovered called Sylvain Luc, a French guitarist,
right.
and a couple of African guitarists and bassists like Richard Bona.
Right.
So that's all from the web. So I guess it boils down to internet. It goes back to the internet.
Many musicians, when you ask them, they say there can be no success unless you have a brand which distinguishes you from the rest.
Yeah.
Now, one would say, Kato, that you're an African.
Yes.
So, what is your brand? If it's playing and I say, oh, the guy's playing like the guys on the internet.
Yeah.
He's playing like the French man whom you just...
Okay, I'm not trying to sound like them, but they influence me slightly. I still have my own sound, my own African element, I guess.
Where does that come from?
I guess from the music. I also listen to a lot of African music, not only jazz.
Right.
But I think it's just in my roots, it's in my blood. It just comes out naturally, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about what happened. This life, you're at school, you're going through your studies. Tell us a bit about yourself. What has made you a professional at the age of 22? I mean, are you still in school, waiting to do your degree, your O levels, your A levels? What happened between 16 and 22? You haven't covered these 6 years.
Oh, yes, there's a gap.
Or maybe
there.
It's a secret.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Yes.
No, actually, so I left St. Mary's. Then I got a scholarship to go to England, an art scholarship. So I went there for just under a year.
Right.
And came back and finished my high school at St. Nicholas.
Yes.
And then from there, I joined USIU, United States International University.
Right.
Studying journalism.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe one day I'll be in your seat. It'll be a
yes. I urge you to. Yes. But I don't think one of these days I'm going to become a musician soon. So let's stick to the discussion of music. Okay. I know for a fact that music has opened up doors for you. You've traveled.
Yes.
You're on the road. How far have you gone on the road? Has it taken you outside this country? It's taken you to the States.
It has. Let me first start with Africa, because I started playing with a jazz musician called Maya Von Leko.
Yes.
So from there, I played with her in shows in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in Tanzania. I did a couple of shows in South Africa. And from there, I actually got recognition. So there was an online process, application for a call for musicians from around the world that can affect their communities through their music, and how they'll change their communities through their music. So we applied, sent in our music, our videos. I think one of the videos that you saw earlier.
Right.
So I got a call back and said, you've been selected out of those 2 musicians to meet in the States from around the world, to do workshops and just tour the States for just over a month.
How many states did you tour?
Like 7 states, just up the East Coast, starting in Florida and finishing in New York.
Yes. Life on the road, for those of us who haven't been on the road,
yes.
Is it the way we imagine in Hollywood movies? Do you check into hotels? Are you sort of bombarded with women and fans coming into your... Is this mythology true? Because that's part of the leading question, Kato, is that people don't want their children to become musicians.
That's true.
Because of the dissolute, depraved lives that they lead.
I guess there's some musicians, and I guess it's much bigger, the rock stars. There's not everyone goes into drugs and sex and alcohol. That's a select few.
Right.
But the thing for checking into hotels, we still do, because we need to live, we need to have a place to sleep.
Exactly.
So yes, we do check into hotels, and we have a good time. Like after the gig, there's parties, but in between that, it's just ordinary people that are going on tour up the road. They're on the road,
right? So
doing their job.
For you'd see yourself as an extremely discipline is key.
Yes.
I mean, there's certain things that must be in place before you can perform.
Yes.
So you land in South Africa, you land in the States. It's a totally alien environment. You're put into a sort of van. You're taken to the venue that you're going to play.
Yes.
What are you insisting on having in place before you perform? What is the high-level comfort zone for a musician before this performance?
I think first you have to have a level of be comfortable with your music. You have to be good at what you do. In terms of what I need there, I'm very easy. I'm the guy that will show up there as long as I have a good place to sleep, the stage is set up well, there's good sound. That's as good as it for me.